Thank you so much for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Ahead today, the midterm elections are over, but still no one knows the winners in many of the key races.
While Republicans are getting closer to winning enough congressional races to regain control of the House, the Senate may not be decided until early December in Georgia.
If Nevada goes to the Republicans, Arizona to the Democrats, we're sitting there right on the precipice of a tied Senate. And that means that runoff a month from now, Herschel Walker versus Raphael Warnock, is going to be for control of the Senate.
For the second time in 6 weeks, Florida enduring a hurricane as Nicole comes ashore.
It's going to be pretty catastrophic for anyone that owns a property in this stretch and really on the beach at all in Volusia County.
With artificial intelligence becoming a growing presence in modern technology, how great of a threat is it to your privacy?
Oh, it's an overwhelming threat to our privacy. Everybody's living online right now.
We'll take a look at what steps can be taken to protect our personal information. A new type of church meeting online. It's what's known as the Metaverse, where on-screen characters are symbols representing other real people, coming together and worshiping in the world of virtual reality.
We found that the environment was just a rich environment for ministry.
And what is this archaeological object? We'll tell you the story behind this historical find from Israel. Those stories and more today on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
We begin this half hour with the waiting for the results of the races that will decide control of the House and Senate. It appears to only be a matter of time until the Republicans gain control of Congress, and that's made official. But the Senate is a different story. And meanwhile, President Biden says he will work with Republicans while also saying he doesn't plan to change the direction himself. CBN White House correspondent Abigail Robertson brings us the story now from Washington.
The White House is reacting to Tuesday's results with glee and giddiness as Democratic House and Senate candidates performed far better than anticipated.
While the press and the pundits are predicting a giant red wave, it didn't happen.
The president acknowledged the House is likely to flip to Republican control and pledge cooperation while laying down some red lines.
I'm prepared to work with my Republican colleagues. And I'm not going to walk away from the historic commitments we just made to take on the climate crisis. I will veto any attempt to pass a national ban on abortion.
He also said the election will have no impact on his plans to run again.
Our intention is to run again. That's been our intention, regardless of what the outcome of this election was.
Although 44 House races are still in the balance, Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy is already at work securing votes to become Speaker in January.
The Republicans are probably going to be in control of the House when all the votes are counted, but it's not going to be nearly the kind of margin that they hope, not nearly the kind of midterm election that they had once had visions of.
The Senate still hangs in the balance.
Neither Nevada nor Arizona have been called yet.
We've got, as Stephen just mentioned, over, and we don't know the exact numbers, but over about 400,000 votes yet to be counted and reported.
With both the governor and Senate races up in the air, Arizona election officials say they will provide daily updates, although final results are likely days away.
We have anticipated that we would have 95 to 99% of all the ballots counted and reported by Friday.
While in Georgia, the neck-and-neck Senate race is headed for a December runoff.
If Nevada goes to the Republicans, Arizona to the Democrats, we're sitting there right on the precipice of a tied Senate. And that means that runoff a month from now, Herschel Walker versus Raphael Warnock, is going to be for control of the Senate.
Dozens of candidates only won by razor-thin margins, leading neither party to feel like ringing the victory bell.
To me, it feels like America telling our political system that we're done trying to hate each other. We're exhausted from hating each other on a daily basis.
Christian author Carlos Whitaker shared this perspective on the results.
People like us that are ready to be curious about people that aren't like us, we're going to win in the end. Why? Because I feel like that's who we were created to be.
As results still trickle in, politicians are already preparing for 2024. Former President Trump had teased a major announcement for next week, but after several of his candidates lost and with the Senate still in question, there is word that his close advisors are calling on him to put it off. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
And some other notable items from this year's midterms. Political analysts noted once again pollsters got it wrong. Strategists from both parties predicted a powerful red wave in the polls, but so far, at least Democrats have done better than expected. Once again, it may be back to the drawing board for pollsters. Despite doing better than expected, Democrats did lose some congressional seats. The most embarrassing defeat, Sean Patrick Maloney, the head of the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee and a close ally of President Biden. He lost his congressional seat in the deep blue New York City suburbs. The most surprising Democratic victory, Pennsylvania State Congressman Tony DeLuca winning in a landslide. The only problem, DeLuca died October 9th from lymphoma at the age of 85. But the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette reports his death was too late for his name to be removed from the ballot, so a special election will be held. Hurricane Nicole made landfall along the east coast of Florida early today, and shortly afterward it was downgraded to a tropical storm, but it was still battering a large area with strong winds, dangerous storm surge, and heavy rain. The rare November hurricane had already led officials to shut down airports and theme parks and to order evacuations, including former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago club. Authorities warn Nicole's storm surge could further erode many breaches hit by Hurricane Ian in September. Our Charlene Aaron is following this story.
Hurricane Nicole slammed onto Florida's east coast overnight, with heavy rain and winds topping 75 miles an hour. Its massive waves threatening backyards and homes in Daytona Beach and elsewhere. On Wednesday, drone footage showed the storm eroding beaches hours before Nicole hit.
It's going to be pretty catastrophic for anyone that owns a property in this stretch and really on the beach at all in Volusia County.
For many in Florida still rebuilding from Hurricane Ian, it's too much too soon.
It's just exhausting. It's too close together.
Winds are the main concern with Nicole, but we also expect to see some heavy rains, the potential for flash flooding, and 3 to 5 feet of storm surge in some areas.
Authorities have ordered residents in 4 counties, Palm Beach, Flagler, Martin, and Volusia, to evacuate. In Daytona Beach shores, building officials tagged several high-rise condo buildings as unsafe.
The evacuation was supposed to have commenced at 10 o'clock this morning, but over 100 people in these 2 buildings decided not to heed that warning.
And later had to go door to door, forcing residents to get out.
These properties are at risk of structural collapse. There is a distinct possibility that one or both of these structures may collapse in some part. So yes, we will get folks to leave.
Thousands of power crews are already in position in case of widespread outages. Operation Blessing is also ready, still in the state helping residents recover from Ian. Nicole made landfall in the Bahamas early Wednesday, with waves crashing into cars in Nassau and people forced to wade through waist-high water. Florida is bracing for its second major storm in 6 weeks.
You have to be worried. You live here.
After slamming into the coast this morning, Nicole downgraded to a tropical storm and is headed north through Florida and into Georgia and the Carolinas, where heavy rains are expected in the days ahead. Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
Coming up, new advances in technology like artificial intelligence could create risks for our privacy. A cybersecurity expert is warning we have to act soon to protect our personal information. We're going to hear from him when we come back. Stay with us. Artificial intelligence is making our lives easier, but the technology also poses a risk to privacy. The Biden administration recently unveiled a blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights. Appearing on this week's episode of The Global Lane, cybersecurity analyst Julio Rivera warns steps must be taken soon to protect people's personal data and put a limit on surveillance.
How great is the AI threat to our privacy?
Oh, it's an overwhelming threat to our privacy. Everybody's living online right now, and we all opt in. We don't read terms and conditions. We just click that little button to move on to the next screen, which is, accept all, or however it may be presented to you. So people don't realize that all their data is being collected. This is being collected by websites, is being collected by applications. A lot of times it's extracted by, let's say, third-party adware or browser hijackers or programs that are referred to as potentially unwanted programs. This information then is collected, harvested, and sold actually on the dark web to people who use it to either, commit identity theft against you. In some instances, they'll do it that way, or in most instances, it's actually given to adware operators to try to tailor advertisements that you see, making it more likely for you to make certain purchases from websites or ads that they show you that are sponsored. This is generally how a lot of these applications make their money, by showing sponsored advertisements, but they know what to show you based on them having your information in advance.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Big Brother and government. I've always wondered about Alexa. It's almost like she's hearing my conversations when suddenly out of the blue she asks questions or makes suggestions. I don't know if you've had that happen. And I also think of cameras that monitor our homes, especially inside the home. How likely is it, Julio, that someone on the other end is actually collecting data on our conversations or viewing images of our home on our cameras?
Well, I really am a believer that the American government is taking a lot of this information. I still think that there's probably Fourth Amendment issues that we've seen in the past. Edward Snowden did a lot to expose things that the United States government was actually doing against the citizenry. But this supposedly this AI Bill of Rights, so to speak, that was created by the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, has its 5 core principles, which are supposedly going to protect the citizenry, which is, these app makers that, collect information or leverage AI are supposed to provide safe and effective systems. They're supposed to prevent algorithmic discrimination, which is something that we've actually seen in the early days of, AI actually becoming more prevalent, and a more prevalent technology being used on more and more databases and applications. There was a serious case actually in the state of Pennsylvania where the Child Protective Services were using AI, and their algorithm was unfortunately disproportionately flagging people of color for wellness checks, and it was considered very intrusive. So there's some issues with that. Obviously, data privacy, which here in Europe, where I reside, we have GDPR, and the Europeans have really actually led the charge on data protection. The United States is actually catching up to that. This is addressed in the AI Bill of Rights. There has to be a proper notice and explanation on these applications that are using AI. And also, they have to provide alternative options should you opt out. The entire thing is actually 76 pages long, so it's kind of like legislation from, Washington, D.C., where there's a lot of, let's say, devils, in the detail that are buried in the 76 pages.
Quickly, what do you see happening then in the years ahead?
You're going to have a lot of people that use this to try to gain information, whether it be on, either professional or political opponents. There's AI is almost limitless. It provides so many possibilities, as technology continues to go further. And I think ultimately, hopefully something like this will be able to protect citizens. Again, I have not had a chance to review all 76 pages. I know that things sound good in theory, but the way that they are in practice is generally different. Generally, the White House or, Washington, D.C. politicians will write legislation or new laws or bills with a name that sounds good. It sounds like something that the American people would want, but when you actually go into the details, there's a lot of things that people probably should be, at the very least, questioning.
Well, they always throw a few things in there you're not aware of, and then there are loopholes, right? Cybersecurity analyst Julio Rivera, thank you so much for being with us. God bless you.
Thank you so much, and God bless you, Gary.
Also on tonight's Global Lane program, House Republicans say political abuses of power are undermining the mission of the FBI. So should the Bureau be dismantled? And celebrating this Veterans Day by serving Israel. You can watch these stories and more on the Global Lane this evening on the CBN News Channel at 8:30. You can also find it on the CBN News app. Still ahead, a look at another realm of technology, and this one is a new mission field for the church. It's called the Metaverse, and it could be the main way we all do church by the end of the decade. Experience this brave new virtual world when we come back. It's not your usual church service. It's not even your usual live stream service. The pandemic forced people to think out of the box and into the metaverse. John Jessup brings us the story.
You've probably heard about the metaverse, but what is it and how do you get there? We're about to show you how it all works using a setting you're probably familiar with. We're going to church, unlike you've ever seen it before. It may look like animation, but the characters on your screen aren't cartoon pixels playing church. They represent real people worshiping in the world of virtual reality.
Bless everyone here with whatever they're going through. And in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
This is church in the metaverse, where users in the real world wear VR headsets to guide their avatar selves into a simulated immersive experience. And it's gaining interest among the curious and the faithful.
We found that the environment was just a rich environment for ministry.
Oklahoma-based Life Church now has a campus in the metaverse to add to its 40 other locations.
We always say if we're going to reach people that no one else is reaching, we're going to have to do some things that no one else is doing. That is really just more of our DNA in general, and that when there's new technologies and new platforms and all the new attention that the metaverse is getting today, we want to be present and we want to learn and understand how we can do ministry in it.
Hey, are you coming?
Yeah, just got to find something to wear.
Facebook's dive into the digital dimension helped it gain attraction and legitimacy, with major players from gaming,
some call it skill,
fashion,
welcome semblance, the fashion's entry to the metaverse,
and even healthcare lining up to unleash its potential. Last year, people dropped more than $500 million to get a piece of the metaverse's real estate. While some see it as a revenue generator, a growing number of faith leaders believe it's just another platform to promote the gospel.
There has been this shift of this kind of like fringe technology, fringe experience that's now starting to become mainstream.
DJ Soto launched VR Church in 2016 and predicts a place in the metaverse will soon become just as common as a church's website and social media are today.
By 2030, your main experience for your church will be in the metaverse.
He points to another major benefit.
When you start to experience church in the metaverse, you start to see this whole world of forgotten people who want to be part of a spiritual community, and maybe they don't have a way to be connected to one.
That's what hit home for Alina Delp.
For probably the first couple, 2 or 3 services, I just cried.
A former flight attendant and thrill seeker, she's been confined to her home due to a rare neurovascular condition. For her, streaming had its limitations.
You could watch others be part of the church, but you couldn't be part of the church. And if anything, that just saddened me.
Discovering VR Church gave her a sense of community, initially volunteering as a greeter, then leading a small group. After enrolling in seminary, Alina is now part of the pastoral team, ministering to people from all over the world and from all walks of life.
In VR, people are very open about where they are. There's not the facade. They don't put on their Sunday best and pretend that everybody's a grade A student and life is wonderful. And but they're really honest about what's happening in their lives, which allows us to pastor better.
Skeptics question everything from safety in the virtual reality movement to sound theology to justify its use. Pastor Bobby Grunwald, who developed the YouVersion Bible app, believes the debate over virtual versus physical boils down to reaching people where they are.
We are for meeting in buildings. We're big proponents of it. We have a multi-site church. We meet in 39 different locations physically. We're part of local communities. But we also feel like we have these tools available today that have never been available before in human history that allow us and give us the opportunity to connect and reach people that we otherwise would not be able to reach.
Soto counters that the metaverse is smart use of technology, like when the late Billy Graham went on radio and TV to evangelize the masses.
We're connecting with people digitally, virtually, over airways, if you will, and the relationships and the community and the connections, the salvation and discipleship is just as powerful as anything that we've seen in the past.
For Life Church, church in the metaverse isn't about choosing the physical over the virtual. It's about the mandate to reach people with the gospel and one of their mantras, which is to do anything short of sin to reach people who don't know Christ. And to reach people no one is reaching, they'll have to do things no one is doing. John Jessup, CBN News, Oklahoma City.
Coming up, a remarkable archaeological find in Israel that gives us a look at daily life going back some 3,700 years. We'll have that story for you when we come back. Stay with us. Israeli archaeologists have found an ancient comb dating back some 3,700 years ago. It bears what is likely the oldest known full sentence in Canaanite alphabetical script. The comb was first excavated in 2016 at an archaeological site in southern Israel, but it was only late last year when a professor at Israel's Hebrew University noticed the tiny words inscribed on it. The sentence on the comb contains 17 letters that read, "May this tusk root out the lice of the hair and the beard." And archaeologists say they have found microscopic evidence of a head of lice on the comb. Experts say the discovery shines new light on some of humanity's earliest use of the Canaanite alphabet, which was invented around 1800 BC. It is the foundation of all the subsequent alphabetical systems such as Hebrew, Arabic, Greek, and Latin. Time now for your Thursday Thankful. Hope you'll join me in this prayer of gratitude. God, I am grateful you have not called me to be concerned with what people think about me or your calling on my life. I have a mantle and a mission, and they come from you. With that word and that prayer, I encourage you all to make this a Thursday filled with gratitude. Let that gratitude continue well into the weekend and even into next week. Well, that will do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can always find more of our news programs on the CBN News channel or online at cbnnews.com at any time. We'd love to know what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can email us, newswatch@cbn.com. And of course, you can reach out and touch us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Have a thankful Thursday. We'll see you right back here tomorrow, Friday.